What's up, y'all? Casey Ship, and I've got a lot of new people here. What's up? Welcome. Come on in. Grab a seat. Get a nice liquor drink. Let's do some whiskey. All right, so I want to drop a line. Today's the 21st. Wow, the big conjunction. And those of you that maybe aren't really into the woo-woo shit, metaphysical stuff, and I am on my porch, my deck. We're going to start looking for a house today. Our lease is up here, and I'm so ready to get out of this apartment. Even though it's like very nice, it's good, it was perfect what we needed. We moved down to the state because we didn't know where we were going, but I'm so ready to move. It feels so good out here. So if you hear stuff, that's just what it is. So today's the big conjunction. Those of you that have had headaches, sinus, if you have had those, feel free to put them in the comments so that other women don't feel alone in how they're feeling. It feels kind of like fibromyalgia. I've had to take Motrin. I don't take Motrin. The only time I take medicine is when a bitch is really sick. And this is my 4th day on Motrin. Headaches, if I turn my, just headaches, full body aches, pains, crazy vivid dreams, downloads coming in. What that means to the empath is you get these messages from divine, and those of you that know, or maybe you're religious and you hear from God, more of those messages, everything's more profound. So a lot of that's going on. I'm going to go live again today to tell you what I'm personally doing. No meditations really. It's really about a message that I received that's, hey, here's what needs to be done for 2021. We're moving fast, y'all. We're moving fast. But this is a pretty kind of a heavyish live. So what's going on is my last name is Ship. I'm married to Skip Ship. And Skip is like the captain of a boat, or the first hand, I don't know, something of a boat. My last name's Ship. Well, it's interesting that during this time, it's almost like my boat is leaving a dock, this magical dock. And throughout my life, because I'm a healer and a lot of you are light workers too, and you just don't know it, and that's where I come in. That's why I say I help goal-oriented women get everything they want, and we break the cycles in the process. And usually we focus on the health, emotional health, physical health, because I do not believe in business without health. I don't believe in money without health. I don't believe in family without health. I think that you can give me everything, but if you don't have health, what do you have, right? And a lot of our things are tied up in health. A lot of women, that's why you're here, we have body image issues. We're too fat, we're too skinny, we don't like this, we don't like that, we're addicted to the scale. The scale is our worth. We have anorexia, we have bulimia, we binge eat when we get stressed out, we eat at midnight. Lots of shame, lots of guilt. Anybody know what I'm talking about? So shame and guilt is a demon, as Mary Duffy says. Guilt is a demon of the solar plexus. It's your area, yellow, it's your gut instinct. So guilt is the demon, if you want to call it that will totally block out your self-esteem. It lies, it's a liar. It distracts you from doing what you need to do. And then there's shame. And shame, I teach you how to heal core wounds, unseen core wounds, because if you're not where you want to be in life, it only means there's something under the surface that needs your tender love and care. And a lot of people aren't willing to go there. Or maybe they're scared, because it is really scary. I'm not going to lie. You're not going to have to do it alone, so don't worry, and it's not going to kill you. So I just want to say that. But really, a client had messaged me, and this is not the first client. This is a conglomerate of what's going on right now. And that's why I know that women that come in at this time into my business are really, really special. They're chosen because I just know. And the ones that don't, out of the fear, it's going to be a hard next few years. Like, harder. It's going to only continue getting harder. So right now, the paths, if you're choosing faith, if you're choosing hope, if you're choosing joy, if you're choosing you means fuck what I think they need, fuck what I think they want. It's about me. Let me give back to me. Through this Christmas, I've realized that I was buying a lot of gifts for people out of guilt and obligation. And that's one of the first rules in self-care. Extreme art of self-care is don't ever do anything out of guilt or obligation, yet that's all women do. We're the martyrs. We're the victims. We are a product of generational curses, if you will. And some people don't believe in that, and it sounds really scary, but it is what it is. That's why we do the same things our mom does. I heard a joke the other day that was like something about the ham bone that they were cooking. The piece of ham was short, they cut off a certain piece of the ham, and the daughter was like, well, why do we do that? And the mom said, well, that's how grandma taught me. And she was like, well, let me go ask you, why does grandma do that? Well, it's what her mom did. And then they finally got to the source of it, and she goes, well, our family was short, or some kind of joke. But it's just saying that we do things because that's all we know. We never question it. So those of you that question it, and those of you that says, I'm fucking tired of this, I'm not where I want to be, there's got to be something more out there, there's something to this, when your crown gets activated and you start questioning things, you're like, something's just not right. That's the shit. That's the chosen ones. That's the ones that you follow that. Okay? You don't doubt yourself. You don't sweep it under the rug. You follow that. So with the body image and the shame and the guilt and all that stuff, I had a client, she was like, well, I've done all this. I've done the doctors, I've done what they've said, I've done this and I've done that. And I just read it, and you have to hear people out, because I've been there too. I've paid the coaches. I've paid the famous people's coaches. I've gone to doctors. I've gone to the holistic doctors. I've gone to the healers. I've gone to the real medical doctors. I've done it all, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. I'm like, what am I missing? What the fuck am I missing? Have you ever felt that way? So that was me, but not until, and this is where I stopped the phone. I was talking to her. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna go live. It wasn't until I addressed the deepest, darkest core wounds. I'm getting chills. The deepest, darkest, scariest core wounds of my life and childhood. Nothing that I didn't know. Not like I found out I was gang raped by my father and his uncles. Nothing like that, which I've helped a lot of those clients too. It was more like, wow, what you thought was right wasn't. But it's very freeing to think, okay, well, at least now I'm validated. At least now I know I've tried all these things and it wasn't working. It's because I was doing this or that. And that's why, that live that I did on how to make the right decision and making things out of love or fear. Just like, well, I want this house, or I want this coach, or I want this purse, or I want this dog, or whatever, but I'm scared to spend the money. I'm scared of this. So the fear comes in, right? But what feels the most expansive, what feels like love, what feels like support, because y'all know this, and I'm teaching it in the money codes. Your desires are given to you. They're divinely given to you. You're innately worthy because you are. You were born that way. So whatever happens to you in between birth and now is the fuckery that we have to go in and we have to clean out. So the reason you're not where you want to be is there's something that you don't know. KNOW. There's some trees down in the stream that's clogging shit up, and you're left with a small trickle. So we have to go in and we undo those. So the girl that was saying, I've done all this, I've done all that, and I was like, all right, I understand. So are you ready to get out of victim mode? Because woe is me, I've tried everything, I don't know what to do. Are you ready to get out of that? Are you really ready? So here's some key factors that me personally, maybe this isn't true for you, but for me, it's almost like biblical. Have you ever read like Revelation, where they're like, it's going to turn parents against kids, and it's pretty fucked up, like Revelation. Who's read Revelation of the Bible? Hello, I'm from Georgia, Southern Baptist, fire and brimstone. I'm not anymore, of course, but I get it. And it's like, your families may be split, and blah, blah, blah. And like yesterday, that song called Church by Slim Thug, I think, with Joel Osteen in the beginning of the song is great. And he says, they may be blood, but they don't have your spirit. And a lot of people aren't there. They don't need to be there right now in the season of your life. And and I was always in prayer, always like, show me, God, show me. What is it? Show me the chains, show me the ball and chain, show me this thing that's holding me down. And with this client, I said, here's the deal. She binge eats. When she goes through anything stressful or whatever, her body's always stuck here, the weight. Once again, that's all a victim. If you're stuck in some certain area, it's just, you're stuck in a victim cycle, right? Just like me right now. I'm sitting there, I go back and forth, in and out of 3 and 5D. And I'm like, what am I not doing? Instead of, oh, here's this thing. Hi, I see you. I'm not going to choose you. I see you. We're going to process if we need to. I'm going to journal. I'm going to get back in touch with the higher part of me, the one that knows the fucking truth. And we're going to just switch right back into certainty and power and just certainty. So that's the difference in the victim versus the victor, or whatever you want to call it. So moving out of the shame and the fear, or shame and the guilt when she's in the binge mode. Okay. And she's like, well, can you help? I was like, yeah, but here's my question to you. Like, how committed are you? Like, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to not ever talk to your family again? Not saying that's what she has to do. I just need to know if she's willing, because let me tell you something about this bitch. And those of you that have ever worked with me, my coaches or anything, they know I will do whatever. Even when I first started out in bodybuilding, I told my coach, and I did. He couldn't believe the shit that I was doing. Like, I would follow a fucking meal plan. I would make myself sick. And he's never seen anybody like eat what I was eating, like raw zucchini, because he said 2 cups of vegetables and I didn't have time to cook it. So I was willing to eat cow shit. I was willing to do whatever, because when I want something, I just fucking want it. And I'll do whatever it takes. So are you willing to do whatever it takes? And I'm not saying we're not going to hurt yourself, not going to hurt your kids, not going to divorce your husband. A lot of times I need you to stay with your husband, because I've got a few of those right now that want to divorce their husbands, and all they're doing is hanging around other girls who cheat on their husbands and have divorced their husbands. And a lot of times it's those friends, those are the toxic chains that are holding you back, disguised as besties. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of times everybody's so comfortable in their life, and they don't want to think that these friends are actually the ball in the chain. But it is, because I've spent so much of my life on that ship trying to leave the harbor, but I want to take everybody with me. And it only holds us back. They can get on, but it's not that hard. It shouldn't be that hard. You should not have to suffer to get to where you want to go. That's a Disney story. That's something that we believe. We believe in there has to be struggle for the success, and that's bullshit, man. If I could change anything, I wish I could just wipe that whole thought process from my psyche. But ultimately, it's what are you willing, and you can journal on this. What are you willing to do? What am I willing to do to get the thing? What am I not willing to do to get the thing? What's under the surface here? And if you get triggered, if you get angry, anger it's always something beneath the surface. You can go check out the emotional wheel if you're in Hot Moms paid group. If you're a student, go check out the emotional wheel. What's under the anger? Is it embarrassment, shame, guilt, despair, grief? What is it? What is it? And some of us, we don't even know how the fuck we feel. We don't even know what we feel like. We only know happy or sad. We only know happy or angry. I was there also. People would say, God, where's this anger coming from? I'm like, I don't even feel angry. I don't even know what you're talking about. Or, why are you're very stressed, Casey? And I'm like, I don't feel fucking stressed. Like, I didn't even know. And if you have to watch my webinar to get the gist on that, and it's free, of course. I'll post a link. It's in here. But today you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to leave your mommy and your daddy behind? Because a lot of times they hold you back. A lot of times you're still living in a 2-mile radius of the same tit you sucked on as a baby. That holds you back. I'm sorry. With love. And I go deeper into all this. Let me expand on that. You got kids, right? My kids. Let's just imagine your kids, my kids. They grow up, because they will. Guess what? Our kids are going to leave us. Our kids will leave us. In a couple years, when they're teenagers, they don't even want us to be around. They don't. So our kids are going to leave us, right? But if our kids, my kids, got to be 18, 19, and they had their own interests, and let's just say they want to be a YouTuber and move to California, would it be sad for me? Yeah, kinda. Me, now that I know what I know, I'm not as codependent as I was, so I don't feel like I'm nothing without them, or they owe me something to stay here, or I'm going to guilt them into feeling guilty for leaving me, and I'm going to be so sad. I'm not going to do that to my kids. If you want to know more about that, there's a great book Wayne Dyer has called Erroneous Zones. Great book. And he talks about how we're conditioned from school and church to just totally live an unhappy life. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It is what it is. But if our kids wanted to move to California at 18 to be a YouTuber, you may have to grieve a little bit, because it's sad. I mean, it is sad, right? But guess what? I would be like, you go, baby. Follow your dreams. I couldn't be any more proud. I could actually feel that now. To know that my kids feel free to follow their dreams and not doubt and not worry about me. Would you want your kids to not follow their dreams and worries or fears of mommy's going to be sad? No, we don't want that. And if you do, you got some shit to work through. You got a lot more shit than focusing on, should I eat this or that? So that's how you have to look at it. Yet, so many adults make decisions for themselves and their family based on their mommy and daddy, because there's an unhealthy cord there. You can't live life like that. You can't live life like that. And if you're sitting there and you're trying to, and I know a lot of these clients too that grew up in foster homes, they grew up with horrible childhoods, and all they want is to feel accepted All they want to feel is loved by a parent, true love by a parent. They want to feel needed and wanted. So guess what? You've seen those memes that say, when you get lonely, you get thirsty. When you get lonely, you start looking at your ex's picture and start dialing him for some dick, right? Because you hadn't got any dick in a while. You start making bad decisions when you're lonely. You start making bad decisions out of fear, to stay safe and to stay whatever it is that you want to stay feeling. And that's okay. But that's a big reason why you're not where you want to be. That's why I had to move. Everybody doesn't have to move, but I'll never forget when my mentor said that. He goes, you got to move, man. You have to go to a place where you're so fucking uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. It's why they make shows about it. It's why they take millionaires and they throw them in regular civilian life, and they give them $100 and tell them to go, because that shit sells. That is like, wow. That's when you grow. And that's when a lot of people have to hit rock bottom. That's why I had to lose everything we had and be homeless. That's why I had to have the life I had, or whatever you want to call it, which I'm giving up that story now. I'm choosing to let it be easy. But sometimes you got to go through that. And I don't think a lot of you have hit rock bottom yet. That's the problem. I don't think a lot of you are so miserable in your current situation to do something about it. It's fun to complain about. It's fun to complain like, I'm not where I want to be. But you're not that uncomfortable. You're still kind of comfy. So, Casey, what do I need to do? You need to get real with your fucking self. And you need to get real with yourself and say, am I where I wanted to be? 10 years ago when I was a little girl, or whenever I was in my state of dreaming and wishing and shooting off rockets of desires, am I living that life? Write it down, run it down. What area of life are you not living out? And there's the thing, like, what feels bad right there? Well, she told me, one of my clients yesterday said, well, talking to you, I feel like shit about myself. I'm like, good. Lean into that. Lean into that. Because that's going to set you free. Not feeling good enough? Lean into it. Why does everybody else get results and not me? I don't know. Let's lean into that. How's it feel? Feels so bad, doesn't it? Feels like you're just picked last. Chopped liver. No good. Nobody wants you. It's horrible. It doesn't feel good. But guess what? You feel it. Other people don't feel it. You feel it. It's yours. So let's tend to it. What is your 8-year-old, 16-year-old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old, 3-year-old self need? Because that's who's running the show right now. And out of desperation, sometimes we create the shittiest situations and we sabotage ourselves. I was, processing with my father stuff was a big one. And I'm going to go over in Hot Mom's paid group today about when we block people out of our lives, why it festers, and how to transmute, transcend, transform the energy. So I'm going to do that in the paid group. It's going to be really fucking good. But today if you're not where you want to be, you have to just say, what am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do? Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of you are making decisions to try to keep the peace. You're trying to keep other people happy around you. You're doing what you think a good mom should do. You're doing what a good wife should do. You're living in the shoulds. What do you really want? Because the desires of your heart are given to you by the divine. That is direct messages from the divine, whatever you believe in, source, God, universe. Your desires, they're your purpose. So you need to go down that list, and whatever you're not happy with, whatever the goals you've set and you're not there, that's what you need to lean into. The pain is going to set you free, right? The only way around it is through it, unfortunately. Now, do we have the tools you need to get through it? Absolutely, because we do this together. I tell everybody it's like we're going into a fight, and I'm putting my hair up to go in with you, because everybody knows this. It's ever got a transformation with me, Casey will give you 110% if you give her 100%. And I'm tired of dragging people along, man. I'm tired of dragging people along and digging the trenches for them. If you don't know what you want, I'm not going to try to turn on lights and make lights go off and all that shit for you, because it's holding me back from helping those of you that really want it and to get where I want to go. It's the same thing with the Christmas gifts and the obligation and guilt. When you buy things out of obligation and guilt, you're robbing from yourself. You're doing to yourself what happened to you as a child. You are telling yourself that you're not important, and that's more important than you. So why don't you not buy them a gift and deal with the shame and the guilt that you feel and obligation that you feel around buying the gift, and buy yourself something. And facing and leaning into that fear and the guilt and the shame and all that, that's going to free you up, sis. Nobody wants to get uncomfortable. It's like the Brene Brown. Nobody wants to talk about guilt and shame. Everybody wants a quick fix, a DIY. Let's shit rainbows and sprinkles. Let's do this because it feels so good. It's love and light. I mean, yes. Flowmasters. I don't even know if that's a V6. So That's it, man. I would say my mindset, if anything, I'll do whatever it takes. And if there's something that I don't know, I go in like this. Here's the secret of mine. If I'm wanting something, I first go, who has this already? Who's making the money I want? Who's got the body I want? Who's got the hormones I want? I'm going to go see if they offer consulting. I'm going to go see if they offer coaching, because they can help me. So I reach out to them, fill it out, deal with any limiting beliefs coming up about money. Can I afford it? Is this the right choice? And whatever. I trust, because just rewind this fucking video. Our desires are given to us by the divine. Anything moving into fear, doubt, or whatever, we're going right back into the 3D human ass pain body. Go back to the future self. How would we act, feel, say, do if we were already at that place, at that having that thing that we wanted? We have to act as that person. That's the quickest way to quantum leap. So I would go and I reach out to these people. I look at reviews. I look at, all that stuff to just make sure, because I don't want to be hasty. I've made a lot of bad decisions when I'm hasty. But I go to these people that have something that I want, or maybe they've helped somebody, and I see how they can help me. That's like one thing, but I'm always willing to do whatever it takes. And I go in and I say, hey, what do I need to ask you? When you read my thing, or when you see my body, or when you look at my blood work, or when you just see my aura, or when you see my energy, or you see me, or you feel me, what is it that you're seeing is the reason I'm not where I want to be? And I get ready, because that's what coaches do. You don't go to a coach for them to wipe your ass for you, make you feel so good. They're going to empower you because they know your potential. They know how to get you there because they've helped other people get there. So there's that piece. So a coach is going to tell you some tweaks to make, some things maybe that's unseen that you have to work through. And you may not like to hear that, but that's just part of being coached. And if you can't handle it, that's fine. Stay where you're at. Maybe it'll come back up and resurface in 7 years when life blows up in your face again. Fuck, I'm tired of that shit. I've had plenty of scarlet moments. So yeah, can I help you? Yes, you have to know what you want. You have to be committed to getting uncomfortable. Are you willing to sit with some nasty feelings of feeling not good enough? Are you willing to sit there and feel ashamed and feel guilty or feel whatever it is? The good news is, I've been there, I felt them all. You move through it so fast. When you're willing to see things differently, they move so fast. You move so fast. It's almost like a blessing when you're just willing to see it, because, anything that we're ashamed of and we don't want to talk about, it festers. Before you know it, it's running your life, and everybody around you can see it except you. It's like an addiction, an alcoholic, right? It's the drunk Santa. Everybody knows he's fucking hammered and he's got a sad life and he's got a problem, but you don't understand what everybody's fucking problem is. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So if you've got any questions, I know this was a very different live today, but yeah, I want to help those that want it. We're having massive success, shifting like crazy. I mean, people with lifetimes of abuse and relationship trauma and autoimmune diseases, and some people that have been on antibiotics for years, they're coming off. They're getting life back better than they've ever imagined it. They're diving headfirst into those core wounds because they want out of it so bad. You process it for 3 days, you're good to go. Will some triggers come back up? Yeah, but you look at them you're like, hey, thanks. You can have humor about it. You can just be like, thanks. Thank you. Here we go. There's something to learn. There's something. I'm going to come out on the other side of this. You just need somebody in your corner. A lot of you are alone. I was too. And a lot of people around you, they're still taken. They're still there just trying to ride your motherfucking wave. And that's okay. You need somebody fighting for you in your corner. And I'm that bitch. And the women in Hot Moms are that bitch. They are badass. Like, I'm so proud of my students. I'm so proud of my bitches, man, my girls. These are high-level women. Anywhere from stay-at-home moms to fucking PhD girls to NPs, physicians, like high CEO people. Everybody's got the same core human emotions, and it's okay, and they're there. Nobody's competing with each other, and if they are, we make it fun. But everybody's there to just share their shit, and we move on with our shit because we got goals that we want to hit. So if you're not where you want to be, you know what to do. Lean into the pain, lean into the nasty feelings. And I've got the strategies, the journal prompts, the energy healing, the steps to take, teaching you about why you don't feel or why you do feel, or when you do feel this, here's what to do, here's what it means. Every aspect of life, that's all in Hot Moms. So that's not here in the free group. That's in Hot Moms. If you want to do that, all you got to do is book a call with me or the sales team. You'll talk to somebody. and we'll see if we can help you. But it's a strategy call. So we're going to ask a lot of questions. We're going to go over things like a doctor would, and then we'll give you a diagnosis and what we think is going to help you the most, and decide if you want to work with us. So that's how it usually goes. I've got a free webinar that will teach you a lot. You'll have a lot of aha moments in there. We'll post the link for you. So let us know how we can help. This is a safe place. We try to monitor the group. If there's any Karens up in here, we just take them out. We just take them out. Okay, y'all. I'm going to be up in the Hot Moms Pay group. I got a chiropractic appointment that I got to get to. Peace. Love you. 2021 is going to be the shit. That's all I got to say.